Right, Darwin, you've probably heard, if you listen regularly, that I've had some letters from a gentleman over in Penarth who's in a band, a local newly formed rock and roll band. They're all young musicians. They're from Rock and Roll City, which is over there in Penarth, of course. The name of the band is Ricky and the Ricochets, and the Ricochets are Richard Minchin, who plays lead, Martin Ford, who's on bass, Steve Reddit, who's on keyboards, and Howard Smith, who plays drums. Ricky, the singer, is Andrew Evans, and all the boys are from Penarth. I went over there to see him earlier this week in response to a letter he'd written to me, and I first asked Ricky how long the band had been together.
Band's been together for about 6 months as Ricky and the Ricochets, but we've been going for quite a while before that. We used to be called Feedback, and the band was around for about 6 years.
Well, where did you get the idea for the name?
Well, we came up with the name the Ricochets because it sounded basically like a rock and roll act. We wanted a name that sounded different to most of the other names in Cardiff, though, because there are so many bands around. So we looked for a name, somebody in the Somethings, searching through a number of names until we found one that we felt was right. When we came to Ricky Nelson, we thought that was the name.
So Ricky Nelson really gave you the idea for the name Ricky?
Yes, he did, yeah.
Oh, magic. What local venues have you appeared at in the area?
Well, we played a number of local venues, mostly the Paget Rooms in Penarth, but we've played at the Casablanca and the Students' Union in Cardiff, among others.
Which one did you enjoy the most playing at?
Oh, I think it's definitely the Paget Rooms, because there's such a great atmosphere there.
Yes, a very famous venue, of course.
It is indeed.
Steeped in nostalgia.
That's it.
And tradition.
Yeah.
Now then, what sort of material do you do on stage?
Well, we do basically the Presley rock and roll, which is probably described best by saying that we don't play rockabilly. We don't go in for the country style. It's more of the hard driving rock and roll.
And what singers influenced you the most then?
Well, I think Shakin' Stevens during his period with the Sunsets, because him being the local boy and everything, it really did bring me to listen to rock and roll. And I think he's got to be the biggest influence on my singing.
And if the band sort of did get some success, would you all turn professional? And
well, we'd have to see what happened.
yeah, you just have to see
Yeah.
how things turn out for you. Well, it's been really nice talking to you, Andrew. I'd like to ask you finally to make a dedication and pick a record.
Sure. Well, I'd like to dedicate this record to my family, the band, the other bands that I know, everybody I know, and anyone who comes to our concerts. It's by Shakin' Stevens and the Sunsets, and it's called Petite.
Well, if you ever seen a girl for home, so you give for home, you cry for and die for queen.
I hope you enjoyed that. Shakin' Stevens and the Sunsets on that occasion were Lloyd Jones on electric guitars, Ian Lawrence, who's now with Quarter Moon, of course, on acoustic electric guitars and pedal steel guitar. Ace Scooter was on piano. George G. Chick was on string bass and electric bass. I think it was probably electric bass on that one. And Rockin' Louie himself, the man on drums. So there you are. That was for Ricky and the Ricochets, and I can tell you that Ricky and his band are appearing along with the Bellhops and Nervous Breakdown at the Paget Rooms, Penarth, this coming Friday, the 5th of September. They're supported, as I said, did I say Bellhops and Nervous Breakdown? It's £1 on the door admission. Rock and roll still going on over at the Paget Rooms, Magic. Crazy Cavern and the Rhythm Rockers are at Bailey's Club, Catsash Road, Christchurch, Newport on Wednesday, September the 3rd. If you want to have local rock and roll gigs down here, you should support this venture because it's a new one, and if it goes well, they're going to keep rock and roll on a Wednesday night over at Bailey's Club. It's a club over there in Newport that's under new management, and they're trying to promote rock and roll. So if you're interested in rock and roll, and you must be a little bit interested to be listening to this, then that's the place to go if you want to keep live rock and roll in the area. That's the Bailey's Club over in Catsash in Newport. A little bit out of our way, but well worth a visit, I think.